If you're not shining, if you're not in a beautiful, bright place, you can't be there for the rest of the world, or you'll never be completely happy. When you raise your consciousness, you realize you can shift things and amazing things happen. Almost 30 years ago, I realized that not everything is designed for your highest and best. It's like manifestation. You're putting all the pieces together, and you see it come to life. When I did those expos, I might have like 19 psychics, and they all did things from different ways, and they were all beautifully on point. And then you have those aha moments, and those are the best.
Me being into manifestation is because it is also scientifically, factually true.
And your belief system is energetically knowing that you transformed things into the highest and best vibration. You are full of infinite possibilities. It's just, where do you want to go, and how do you want to experience life?
Hi, I'm Kavya Ramani, a Bollywood actress, best-selling author, and a success mentor based in New York. Manifest WishCraft Conversations is a podcast series on manifestation where I explore the true meaning of success through conversations with inspiring people from around the world. This podcast is also available on Spotify. If this resonates with you, please subscribe, like, and share this episode with 3 more people. It might change their life and yours too. To learn more and be a part of this growing global movement, please search Manifest with Kavya Ramani. This is my website. Enjoy the episode!
Hello and welcome to Manifest WishCraft Conversations, and today we have a truly inspiring guest, Ellen Pellegrino, and I call her Elle. She's widely known as Elle Pellegrino, an actress, producer, quantum healer, hypnotherapist, life coach, psychic medium, and a spiritual guide. There's a lot, and Ellen began her journey in Hollywood working on projects like The Streets and The Left-Handed Secret Agent, and now has devoted her life to helping others heal, grow, and let the soul shine. Uh, Through her work in spiritual healing and psychic guidance, Elle creates a sanctuary for transformation, helping people release past traumas, ease chronic pain, and connect with the universal energy to live their highest potential. Today, she joins us to share her journey, insights on healing, and practical tips to nurture our mind, body, and soul. Please welcome Elle. How are you doing?
Good, baby doll, good. that was lovely.
Excited.
I go by Priestess Elle, and the essence.
Priestess Elle.
Yes, and the reason why I go by Priestess Elle is the light, your soul light. So Ellen, I was born with, and Ellen means light. But Elle is the light of the infinite, and it's your soul essence. And because I believe we're all part of all that is, we're all connected. And Priestess is just helping you connect to the divine essence that you are.
Yes.
Okay.
It does. Yeah, that suits you actually. That's a perfect name.
Thank you.
And without further ado, let's get started because there's a lot we will have to discuss today, as always. Because the guest that we have here, she is a really inspiring soul. And to get started, I would like to start with your journey. How did you, first of all, I see that you have been an actress, a producer, and then shifted into something spiritual and so divine. So share how that shift happened.
Well, actually, it was the opposite. The spirituality, I started Age of New Beginnings about 30 years ago. Age of New Beginnings is the essence of whatever your past, God bless, at this moment is a new beginning. So that's what Age of New Beginnings is. But it and still is a blend of beautiful, high vibrational people where you were able to connect with me, to also connect with a plethora of other people that are of the same vibration. But I'm trying to think on how far I go back. But when I was younger, I was very highly sensitive. like you are. And I guess I went through a lot and realized that it's important to empower yourself, because the world can beat the heck out of you if you don't come from a place of consciousness. So, my mom, very young, got Parkinson's and dementia. And I knew that would be my reality if I didn't evolve. So I learned about neurotoxins and different things that affect how you feel, which also affects your pineal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I got involved with different things. I used to do free workshops of awareness, of learning cause and effect. And then I did a show for 10 years, and it was the Age of New Beginnings, and it was showing different modalities of healing, you know. And then I used to do a lot of expos, and one was a fundraiser for India. There was a gentleman that I knew who had an orphanage, and from what I was hearing was there was a lot of people that came in that would try to push Christianity. And so this particular gentleman made sure the kids were able to keep their culture, you know, and he was fabulous, and we did a beautiful event. And I'm getting chills. I always felt drawn to the Indian culture, you know, and how can I say it? I went through a period of my time where I checked out every religion very intensely. And what I was brought up Jewish, and then when I was a teenager, I got into Buddhism and Nam-myoho Renge Kyo, and you know, I looked into everything, and it's all beautiful, and it's all about learning how to love self and love and respect everything around you, which is what I still do. I support people in realizing if you're not shining, if you're not in a beautiful, bright place, you can't be there for the rest of the world, or you'll never be completely happy. There'll always be that void within you that needs to be filled with something, whether it's drinking, whether it's something that's not healthy. So it's important to value who you are, your light, your soul essence, and as you empower yourself and raise your vibration, you're able to make a difference in the world. 1999, 2000, where we're going from the Piscean age to the age of Aquarius, which is a higher vibration, just like that song with the fifth dimension. This is the age of Aquarius, fifth dimension. It is a higher sensitivity, a higher, you think, so you create. And it's happening more and more. And they call it the new earth. So as we're evolving, the earth is evolving, and life is amazing at this moment in time. There might be a lot of chaos in the world, but it's part of an energetic shift of the universe putting a light on all the icky. You know, it's kind of like when you have a full moon and how the full moon lights up the darkness. Well, we're going through that right now, and people are realizing truth. And when you raise your consciousness, you realize you can shift things, and amazing things happen. When you don't know, the world is over, and you have every ailment in the universe, because stress creates whatever you think is what you feel. So I do holistic healing. I do quantum healing. But the more you understand, every culture has that piece within them that affects from their energetic lines what's going on in their body. So like if you were brought up Jewish, you're brought up with guilt. No matter what you do, there's something wrong with about yourself. Oh, I'm sorry. But guilt is right over here. It's the chakra of how you feel about yourself and your personal passion. It's that self-doubt. You don't want that. And that's a little feeling and digestive issues and all kinds of things that you definitely don't want. If you're Italian, it's your heart. you have an Italian grandmother goes, "You're killing me here. You're killing me." It's so silly, so stupid, but it's real. And so the more you realize you want to detach from anything negative, because all it's our past generations of the hell they went through and how they perceive things. So the more you release and you learn different ways, there's cutting cords, there's all kinds of different processes, meditations that help you know you're divinely perfect as you are.
I see that you deeply, truly want to and have been inspiring and helping a lot of people. Would you like to tell us, was there a moment, like specific, like a spark, when you realized your true calling was to like help people heal their souls? And when did you realize that?
I think somebody did quantum healing on me, and it was insane. It was like somebody unleashed something within me, and I felt so much more alive. And the reason why I brought up Italian culture is because I experienced it with my husband and his family. And his mom didn't particularly want my husband to marry a Jewish person. She had her issues pertaining that type of an individual. So she loved to make my life miserable. and she did a lot of different things with my kids and with me to make me feel, I guess when I was younger, when I was your age, there was an expression once upon a time that my shit didn't stink. I don't know if you ever heard of that expression. It's an essence where I felt so good about myself that there was nothing I couldn't do. I was happy, free, doing what made me happy. And then I married my husband and I fell in love and everything was great. And then years and years and years of my mother-in-law, critiquing, saying, "Oh, I don't like the way you do this and this way you do that," and kept knocking me for a long period of time and I did everything for her. I made sure she was happy and everybody was happy and the holidays and presents and gifts. And no matter what I did, it wasn't right. And it really beat my esteem up. And I wasn't the young lady that I was, like you are, I kind of, I guess my energetic level got squashed. And then I did the quantum healing and I got me back. But the way they explained it is, if you envision a wine craft and you're pouring it out to everybody, and then when it comes to you, there's nothing left. You're kind of like, and so I felt empty. And then when I experienced the quantum healing, I got me back. And I wanted everybody to experience it. And the same thing, like when I found about neurotoxins and things of that nature, I wanted everybody to realize, oh my God, you're poisoning yourself. Don't use Scope. Don't use Listerine. Don't use the things in the supermarket. Not that I have. Almost 30 years ago, I realized that not everything is designed for your highest and best. And the more you're aware of the intentions of others and how to decipher, what's pure, what's real, what's loving to self. So I only use products that doesn't have garbage in it. But besides it protecting your bloodstream, like soft soap and dial soap, it has pesticides. So when you wash your hands 10 times a day, it goes right into your bloodstream. But it also goes into your pineal, which affects your connection. So you matter on so many levels. And the more you take the time to grow and to evolve and to understand, you feel more alive. And everybody should feel that way.
Yeah, and I love the way you put it. There's another question that I'm not sure would be a good one, but just to touch ends at that angle, I want to ask you that, has your experience in acting and producing kind of changed or shaped or influenced that the way you guided and connected with people in their spiritual work?
What is really magical is seeing things come to life, you know? So when you're acting, it's a way of portraying things, it's the way of allowing yourself to see things from a different perspective, and be something other than you are, which is fun and exciting. And then when you see it on TV or in a movie, it's like, wow. It's just like when you produce it and you're putting all the pieces together, and it's like manifestation. You're putting all the pieces together, and you see it come to life. And also, when you realize in life, when you see things from a different perspective, because a lot of people don't always feel worthy of having a divine connection. I'm not good enough. How could that possibly be? And your self doubts. Like when you do a creative visualization, you do a beautiful meditation, absolutely gorgeous, and that's telling a story. That's helping somebody see things from a whole new perspective. And as they're, following the beautiful journey, they heal, or they become aware of another aspect of what's real and what's not. Like, in other words, when you do meditation or you do hypnotherapy, you have somebody hit their subconscious, and they're able to see things from a new perspective, like you're watching a movie. You're not judging yourself. You're just seeing yourself as a child and what's going on and the scenario. And you're able to see that it's not you. I do a scenario like, imagine your grandmother sees a child that's maybe 3, and they see a beautiful stove and it has a beautiful flame, and the child just wants to touch it, and the grandmother goes, ah! And the child's like, oh my God, I did something wrong. No, the grandmother just wants to make sure that the child doesn't get burnt. But in the subconscious of that child, it was so traumatized from that scream, but that was the panic. And that child has, oh my God, I'm bad on some level, which was never the truth and never what she wanted you to think or feel, or so it's empowering, and it's all the same type of reality. Do you know what I'm saying, Princess?
Yep, I get it. And the subconscious is a really, really creative thing. It's such an interesting concept, because there's a lot of things going on in there which are completely different and opposite from what happens in the actual mind, right?
Yes, your perception is very powerful, on how you comprehend things. And the more you see things for truth, you're able to heal. Okay, someone didn't yell at me, even if you're in a fight with somebody and somebody acts out. If they're under the influence of something, it's not really about you, it's about their demons, So it's, as you get older, you're able to comprehend that. When you're younger, especially from 0 to 7, let's say you're a child, and I know that when I was little, a thing that affected me tremendously, there was a belief system that if a child cries, you don't pick them up. You let them cry, and let them cry themselves to sleep, and you just let them be. That was devastating to me. That was very, like, aren't I worth your love? I need your love. And that love means everything to me. But to understand, everything that happens in this carnation comes from something that's preordained. understanding that this is not our first go around, and that every lifetime, I'm getting such chills. It's so nice. Chills are validation. It's the universe telling you, yeah, baby, you're on the right track. So I remember when I was getting my hypnotherapy license and I started going through past life regression and things like that, you start to I found out that my husband wasn't his first time with me, and you realize that your child could have been your mother, you could have been something else. That it's infinite possibilities of where you were for you to have that journey to each lifetime to get it right, if that makes sense. Um,
Yes.
we go through our different incarnations to become our best self, our lightest self, our most evolved self. So if my parents, who were brilliant and wonderful, but they had their own way of dealing with things that weren't as loving as would be nice in a perfect reality. But because I didn't receive it, I desire it. Love to me is everything. And it is everything. When it's like yourself. To treat yourself the way you would treat a kitten or a child, a little infant or a puppy. You treat yourself with love, with care, without judgment. Um, and when you do the hypnotherapy, you realize that even when somebody passes, it's not by accident. It that incarnation was meant to help the other people in that realm to evolve, to, yes, I'm getting well, to experience what they need to experience to evolve. But they come back. It's okay, because our soul and our essence never, 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 never dies. And then when you finally reach that beautiful, magical place, then, supposedly it's supposed to end. So I don't know if this is my last incarnation. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But whatever it is, enjoy the journey. And that's what it's all about.
Enjoy the journey. Own it. Be happy in it. Be satisfied. The sense of content is the best and the most important thing that has to be there in your life for you to be happy, right? And yeah.
Yeah. The more you don't live in judgment of others or judgment of yourself, the more you before you wake up, you say, oh my God, thank you. Whatever you believe. I don't do religion, but God bless wherever religion you're in, you're meant to be, and enjoy that. But I do believe that you take that deep breath, you ground, and you say, thank you for this incredible day. Or before you go to sleep, you say, thank you for tomorrow being magnificent, that I'm able to bless somebody's life, that whatever it is, whether it's a test or something, that I own it, that it's better outcome than I can even imagine. And, that's why there are so many different things out there, like doing, learning the law of attraction, realizing what you say into the universe matters because it vibrates out. You learn, you never want to say want. Oh, I really want this to happen. You know why? Because then the universe will give you more of that wanting. So don't say I want it. Say it's becoming easier and easier to co-create the life I desire. Does that resonate?
Yes, that is the best way to put it. I have been telling this to people, and I myself believe this,
Mm-hmm.
that asking for something is never the point, will never get you to your goals, but giving a statement and stating that you already have it
Yes.
would make it easier for you to be closer to your goals,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And
And you put it in such a good way that I love how you said it.
oh, thank you.
Let's just jump ahead a little, because I want to go into a little bit of quantum healing. And you
Okay,
do practice quantum healing, right?
that's true. Yes.
Yes, and how would you explain it to someone who's like just new to this concept?
Okay. Quantum healing is basically everything I spoke about. You'd allow yourself to relax, allow yourself to go through a hypnotherapy session. When you go through that hypnotherapy session, when I do it, it's not just me talking. It's something that you feel dimensionally. In your mind's eye, you feel, you sense, you experience. And the universe, I don't pre know what's going to happen. I allow the universe to say, so what happened at this time? And you're able to interact. You're not under, but you're in this beautiful, soft place. So if somebody wouldn't have to ever be scared because you can wake up and you do talk, it's just allowing you to access that beyond the judgments, beyond the noise into your subconscious, and and as you experience, you're able to see things from a new perspective, feel different things. By the time you finish your journey, which the journey is about an hour and a half, it's not a quick thing. It's a process. And, but the whole process is about 2 hours. And part of it is journaling at the end and putting it in that imprint in your body, into your mind, into your beingness. And being is not something that most people are comfortable with, but by the time you experience a quantum healing, your vibration is raised. And when I say your vibration is raised, it means normally in life, it's 3D. If you touch it and you feel it, it's got to be real. But when you see things from a more of a dimensional perspective, it's beyond that. It's tuning into the chills, tuning into different types of validation, tuning into a different type of knowing that is surreal. And to when you wake up, you don't feel the same way again. You're more of a higher dimensional being, and it's a magical, wonderful place to enjoy a deeper, more alive feeling of life.
Yes,
Did
so
I explain it enough? I don't.
yes, 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 yes. You explained it in the best and basic way that would make people understand this better. And now getting towards the psychic medium, I'm excited about that. Um, as a psychic medium yourself, how does connecting with spirits support the healing process for living individuals?
It's so funny. If somebody thinks of a psychic, they think of somebody that's evil or devilish or something. Like, how can that be? But what happens is when you realize intuitive aspects it's just you connecting to the infinite, you allowing you to connect to another person's soul. And so whether it's on this side or on the other side of the veil, I'm getting more chills. It's so nice. It's there's no difference. I also do hypnotherapy, and clearing work when you do house clearings with the other side. So you're allowing that soul to go into the light, because sometimes when you pass, you're so beaten down that you're afraid when you pass, if you go into the light, you're going to be damned to hell, and it's not true. It's we stop, we evaluate, we realize what we've experienced, and it's an evolution, and to not live in fear, and going to the light is a magical time and a magical place. And some people, when they're in so much pain, they want to go to the other side, but to realize that pain, that heart issue, is you holding on to emotional things. every chakra, every energetic part of ourself, if something is wrong, if you feel something from the back, you're holding on to past things. And I'm sorry, I ended up going back to healing. I'll go back to the psychic aspect in a second.
It's
But
okay.
yeah, okay, cool. The right side's the male, the left side's the female. Energy coming in, energy going out, understanding yourself at a higher aspect. If somebody has had problems seeing, it could be an aspect of a past life or this life that you were so traumatized that you feel like you can't cope seeing any more hell happening in life or an experience. Um, um, if your hand, something happens, that's you reaching out to connect to something, and you feel like you can't connect. You feel
So what
what
you
was that?
mean is that everything that's aching or every pain holds a symbol in itself,
It
whether it's
does.
figuratively, whether it's literally. There is some kind of symbol that resonates and that connects to your inner pain, to your
Yes.
outer pain, right?
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what's beautiful? I understand a number of religions that when you say certain sounds, it also resonates, get chills, with certain aspects of your body and certain aspects of things around you environmentally. So there are so many dimensional, etheric aspects of how you can, and it's all gorgeous. Whether it's Hebrew, whether it's no matter what religion it or nationality, there's a beautiful I used to do events, um and when I did those expos, I might have like 19 psychics, and they all did things from different ways, and they were all beautifully on point. So that was like kind of a show that I did, was to show that there's not one way to get to where you need to go. It's just finding that comfortable way to feel good about yourself, feel good about life, feel and release the hurt, the pain, the things that slow you or prevent you from being happy. To realize that everybody has the same gift. Everybody. It's just whether you decide to tap into it. And the only thing that prevents you is your fear, or you not allowing yourself to go within. Because everything you have, you've got. And it's like your dad, developing aspects of your brain, developing aspects of, I'm getting such chills. Wow. That to think that somebody is more gifted than somebody else. It's just what you allow and what you take time for, and where you are in life. So we're all amazing. We're all brilliant. And we all have our own ways of evolution, you know? And with the intuitive aspect, it's, I energetically connect to an organ or a timeline within somebody, and you're able to connect to why something's bothering them. That's another part of healing or intuitive aspects that I do.
But
Okay.
what you talked about, I just thought of something, from the conversation. My dad always says that a person now in this generation, in this world currently, lives only the 10% of what they can live the best of their own versions. Does that make sense?
The people go to where they're comfortable. It's
Yes.
that comfortable peace within their beingness, you know? And it's like, if to learn about what's cancerous, what's toxic, people get scared. Oh my God. But you don't get scared. It's like, oh, I can shift things. I don't have to be sick. I don't have to get stomach cancer, throat cancer, or brain cancer. I can not put myself in harm's way. So it's understanding, even if there's a generational aspect or attention deficit disorder, all those different things, it comes from, if you surround yourself or touch or around things that aren't for your highest and best, it affects your beingness. So knowledge and knowingness can improve the quality of your life.
Yeah, and you also mentioned different parts of your own brain too, right?
Oh,
And sorry?
1,000%, yes.
Yes, and the human brain is so well designed. I always, sometimes when I'm, in my own pondering session with my own self, I think about it and I think that the human brain and the human and this whole nature, even the tiniest insect, has a lot of organs in itself.
It does.
Imagine how detailed and how perfectly intricate the work of that insect itself would be, which is going to die in 5 minutes. Probably, what is the lifespan of an insect? Maybe 2 days, 5 days? And still, yet, no insect is different from the other of the same species.
What to realize that everything and everyone has their journey. They come in for that particular reason to experience whatever that experience was. And when they incarnate, and that's what's really great about hypnotherapy and other different things. You're able to tap inside yourself and see that lifetime, experience that lifetime, and see that parallel aspect of yourself from that lifetime. And then you have those aha moments.
Uh-huh.
And those are the best. Those are the best. That's when you're able to tap into something and awaken something, and a light goes off.
And now talking a little bit about people and their perspectives towards it. For someone who is struggling with chronic pain or
Mhm,
stress,
mhm.
or anxiety and all these things, what's the first step towards healing that they can take?
I think that a lot of times, because of our environment and different things within ourselves, we're depleted. And whether it's B6 and B12, which it's learning how to nurture yourself and understanding where that post-traumatic stress came in from. Was it a parent that yelled? Was it someone where you felt picked on? Could have been raped. It could have been, there's so many different things that create how you feel. And you're entitled to feel that way. But then when it comes to a point in your life where you're not enjoying your life, then it's a healthy thing to allow yourself to find that way to heal. So hypnotherapy is off
Do
the
you want
chart.
to talk a little bit about it? Because we haven't talked about it yet, and I feel like this is the best moment to talk about it.
About hypnotherapy?
Yes, yes.
Did you ever experience it?
I don't think so, but I'd love to.
Okay, you let me know. We'll talk.
Okay.
We'll have it. I'll blow your minds. You know what? I think that we're all here to bless each other. You know, and there's a reason you see this or you see something at a certain time in your life. It's when you're ready. And if you're going to do hypnotherapy, you got to make sure you trust the hypnotherapist, because there's some
Yeah.
hypnotherapists that can take you to a place deeper in your mind to make you do things you don't want to do, because your mind is that powerful. So you want to make sure you have somebody who's doing, I'm getting more chills, that has the same intentions for the needs that you need at that point. Someone's not having their own agenda, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And um,
And
hypnotherapy,
how does hypnotherapy kind of relate or help people to heal, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, however?
all of the above, all of the above. Because now, when you do a meditation, it's like a hypnotherapy. You know, like they say, when you're even walking through the woods, it's like a walking meditation. So there are different ways to connect to the different parts of yourself. It's when you allow yourself to have that space to honor you, your space to not be around the noise, so you can hear your own inner guidance, hear your own divine connection, and see things from another perspective. Now, when you have a hypnotherapist, it's a facilitator. because the facilitator is able to take you and help you when you're seeing things to not be afraid, or to help you, oh, what are you feeling now? Look into the eyes of, and you're not experiencing it again, but you're seeing it like you're watching a movie so you can understand it from another way. Do you know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
the hypnotherapist is the person that is coming from a place of love to help you heal the emotional traumas, that could create anxiety, affect your breathing, or you can have asthma, could be from a post-traumatic stress. You can have heart issues. Everything has, just like your chakras, when you have a health issue, it comes from that chakra, from that meridian, from that energetic center, from that emotional perspective. Um, and there's different ways to find that. I mean, I do it with a thing with frequencies. It's just the way that you discover along your way, and it's divinely perfect.
Yes. You
Yes.
stole the words out of my mouth. But I have an interesting question right now related to this, so don't worry, we're not leaving the topic yet. I just thought about this, and I think I've researched a lot about psychology and brain rewiring and neuroplasticity, and this again connects to manifestation to a really good extent. But
Mm,
I also think this has something to do with hypnotherapy, because
yes.
okay, so I'll just tell you. I mean, just a brief, a talk about brain rewiring, and then I'll connect it to hypnotherapy and ask you if that's correct or not. Because
Um,
yeah, so brain rewiring is where you uh, close your eyes, meditate, and then go back to a certain memory or a certain thought that you want to rewire, want to change or influence or something like that. And you go back to the thought and you try to take it out of your head and you try to make it fresh. It has to be a fresh memory. And then you influence it and then you change it and then it gets back into your head. So that's kind of brain rewiring, and when you repeat it again and again, that's when the neuroplasticity happens. Does that make sense? And is
1,000%.
that what happens in hypnotherapy?
It does, love. It does. It does. Absolutely. Like I said, there's not one way to get there. And a lot of things are very, very similar. It's just a little tweak of a little different. It's what you feel safe with. If somebody says rewiring, it might feel better than hypnotherapy, because somebody might say, oh my God, a hypnotherapist I saw on stage and they made somebody bark like a dog or do different things. And so some people are afraid of different things. So maybe rewiring is a safer way to get there, but it's a very similar type of thing.
Uh-huh.
But it's whether it goes into a deeper place or not. I guess it depends on the person you're dealing with, and who,
Yes.
and so there is no better or whatever. They're all magnificent. But yes, rewiring is the same type of thing. That doesn't it sound like when I was talking about, you're going to the inner child and the grandmother yelling, or the
Mm-hmm.
it's you seeing where that first hurt just happened, and allowing yourself to um, with hypnotherapy, you're able to um, look into the grandma's eyes, and see her panic, and see where she's coming from, and see your reaction. And you're also able to, as an adult, connect to that child and hold that child and nurture that child. Or if somebody has different beliefs, if somebody is Catholic, they can, envision Mother Mary holding them, healing them, and knowing that they're always with them and they're feeling safe. So it's kind of going to that place of where somebody, can connect to.
Yeah, and helping them visualize kind of what they weren't able to do before, but then will be able to do because of their imaginative ability to do so, which is ignited by the hypnotherapist themselves, right? And
I think that people, when you use your imagination, it's allowing you to put your intention into having a better life, healing a certain thing. Even when someone does energetic work, it's having that intention of giving love to somebody, seeing them feel lighter, happier, releasing the pain energetically, So the more, again, you are in full of infinite possibilities. It's just, where do you want to go, and how do you want to experience life? So healing is infinite, just like we are.
yes, and from Infinite, I again my linking system is really interesting because I catch words and I connect them to something and I get to something which is really interesting for me myself also. But yeah, Infinite got me to the universe, which is infinite, and
Yes,
so the universal energy is so strong, and that gets me to manifestation. So now let's talk about a little
yes,
bit of manifestation aspects also, because all of these things that we just covered are all a lot connected to manifestation.
it
And
is.
so would you like to tell us about how spirituality or frequencies connect with manifesting goals and desires, but not as such desires, kind of like a pure thought? How does it try to get us to a pure thought?
Um, when you have the intention of, okay, um, and you allow yourself to channel. So, like, they have automatic writing, and you allow yourself to say, okay, what would I want my future self to experience? What would be the most amazing reality for myself, and allowing myself to either experience it with beautiful vibrational sounds, or just having a pen in your hand and thanking God in the universe or whatever you believe, and allowing yourself. And it's always a nice thing when you put on hertz of some sort, like 528 or these different frequencies, the hertz that also help you with the intentions of healing, intentions of manifestation, intentions is infinitely powerful. So what you think is what you create. So if you're going to think they're everybody is horrible, everybody's against me, I can't stand anybody because they're just so mean to me. If you focus on things being hurtful, you'll
Your
hear
perspective.
your perspective. You're going to hear something that you can interpret it as someone being against you. And when you realize nobody is against you, everybody's just trying to cope in this world, and everybody's doing the best way they can. And when you have the intention of love and forgiveness and compassion, and if someone's having a bad day and they stub their foot, they're hurrying up to get out of the house, and they smash their foot, and it's like, and they're saying all these words that aren't very nice, and they might react to people, get out of my way, it's not because you're bad or you're in their way. It's because they hurt their foot and they're just trying to deal with the pain and get out the door, So it's understanding the perspective, the viewpoint of where the end, because you don't live in this world by yourself, and you have to be able to understand that not everybody's in a good place. And not and there are people that don't always have the best intentions, because they have their own demons. They don't there's jealousy, there's all these different things where people go, I don't like that person, their life is easy and my life is hard, and it's from where that person's at. So they might say mean things, or they might try to manipulate you to feel a certain way. And for you to sense, and the more you tune into energy, the more you allow yourself to connect, you can feel sadness in somebody. You can see when their light is bright or when their light is dim. And when someone's coming from a lower vibrational place, they say things that aren't as loving as it could be. So it's just
the aura around the person determines what they do and what they get back from the other person or from this universe. It all, again, as you said, it all comes back to the frequencies. Again, aura is also kind of frequency. Positive auras, negative auras, your mindsets, your thoughts affect your auras. Aura affects your frequency. Frequency affects the universe, and then it affects what you get back. It's
yes,
all
yes. So I work with something that you speak for 10 seconds, and you you're able to, just like you did with the imprint, you're able to get a printout of your meridians, your organs, your chakras. If something is out of alignment, um, what it is, and in 3D imaging, and you're able to get your own frequency that you listen to, and it brings you up to a frequency of where you're meant to be, so it's another way, it's again what you're able to comprehend. And just to say about your intentions, whether it's food, whether it's your water, not everything is as pure as it used to be. So just having the intention of sending love into water. Thank you for raising my vibration, hydrating my cells, and giving
let's do it
me
together. Come on.
what, baby doll? Okay, let's do it.
Go.
Yeah. So it's you taking your vibrational energy, sending the intention into the water, thanking it for being here, sending love. So you're raising and purifying the water. And when you do it, you're actually shifting the water in so many magical ways. So thank you for whatever you believe, God, the universe, the infinite, intelligence, whatever it is, for blessing this water, that every time it touches my lips and goes through my body, it's hydrating every cell. It is healing, raising my vibration, purifying my energy, bringing more happiness into my life. Thank you, God and the universe, for all the blessings. And you can do this with your water and even with your food. Thanking whoever planted that seed, thanking the person that picked that fruit or that vegetable, thanking that person that is selling it to you so you're able to have it, and then sending good vibrations to the food for purifying it and releasing all the negativity that might have been sprayed or radiated into that element.
Now
So
that feels really fresh and amazing, doesn't
it,
it?
it does. It really, really does. It really feels pure.
It kind
Yeah.
of also depends, and it kind of also relies more and more on your own belief system, also.
Yes.
And your belief system leads to the frequencies coming, vibrations coming into the water, into the food, because I too believe that scientifically, because I'm a person who believes in facts, kind of, and it's kind
Yes.
of, it seems ironic, but me being into manifestation is because it is also scientifically, factually true.
It is. It really,
And
really.
I've searched this a lot, and I find that the water catches vibrations really easily. It attracts vibes easily.
It does.
So whatever kind of vibrations you want to like put into the water, you can
Mhm.
put into it, and then you when you consume the water, it gets
Yes,
into you too.
it does. It does. Again, there's so many different ways. And the essence is people are afraid of the air, they're afraid of the water, they're afraid of the food. So there are some aspects to truth, but if you believe it, it can hurt you. So if you take a moment and you bless it, you can shift it, and your belief system is energetically knowing that you transformed things into the best, the highest, and best vibration. So your thoughts are powerful. You're powerful. Yeah.
Mindful thinking, that's what we say. Oh, again, there's another great concept that me and my mom were discussing the other day, and we came up with something called the mindful eating. That
Okay.
is, well, that is a normal thing that dietitians, nutritionists, and all these health coach always tell us to
Hmm.
do, and which is mindful eating. But
Yes.
what came up with was mindful eating for the brain.
Okay. I love
So the
it.
food for the brain is what, thoughts.
Yes.
And so I always promote mindful thinking, but giving it another name, mindful eating, tells
Right.
me to
Hmm.
consume the thoughts mindfully and to consume what's the best for my mental health, which
Hmm.
what is the best for my oracle health, right?
Yes.
Does that make
Yes.
sense?
It does. It does. It does. It does. Like they say, walnuts are good for the brain. There's a number of different things that it's good to know about. And just like if you have 2 tablespoons of sugar, it shuts down your immune system for 6 hours. So the things that we do affect our system, and the more we're more knowledgeable of cause and effect, you know, not to say that you shouldn't have sweet things because it's fun and wonderful, but it's the amount you consume that how loving it is to your system, and to realize you got to compensate. You know, so what you do matters, and what you think matters, and how you act and how you express yourself matters. So there is so many different pieces to who we are, that the more we embrace it, honor it, and choose, you know.
Yes. That makes a lot more sense. And now, now that we are talking about manifestation and this aura and all these things, I want to get a little bit into gratitude. And this would
Mm,
be the last topic before we move towards another interesting section. Um,
okay.
what role has gratitude and affirmations and all these things play in your life?
Understanding that if you don't live in gratitude, you could be focusing on what's wrong in the world. You can focus on what this one did to me. I'm not good enough. Oh, I know if I do that, something terrible is going to happen. And when you start thinking all these negative things, careful what you say. So when you come from a place, like I was saying, wake up in the morning in gratitude, or at night, write down what you want to create for tomorrow, that you're putting out there, um, and allowing the universe to open it up for you, co-create it. That vibrational energy, it happens. And you see that. That's part of manifestation. It's part of creating your best life, living in gratitude, thanking the water, thanking the food, thanking yourself, thanking whatever happens around you. My day is going to be great because I'm aware on how to manifest it. I'm in gratitude for my knowledge and who I am. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, a lot of sense. Again, all of this came back to frequency, right? These are all the ways how you control, how you stay and maintain that frequency that you want to attain. to connect to the universe and to get what you want. But then again, the thing that you want has to be a pure intention for you to be able to get it, right?
It's true.
And so, with
It's true.
all of this concluding, we are moving towards our next section, the last section, where I would, ask you 5 questions. I call it the fast five round. I'll ask you quick 5 questions. You will have to answer in one sentence or one word. It's gonna be a rapid fire round, a quick section.
Hmm.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
So, first, are you a morning person or a night person?
Night person.
Good. One book or a resource or an article or any media that changed your perspective on life.
You know, it's a funny thing. There's a thing called Chat GPT. And there are also things in Google or things like that where you can find answers to questions. Okay. Thank you, ChatGPT, for finding the most wonderful person that's going to talk about manifestation, law of attraction, how to heal myself, in what direct way you want to heal yourself, or you have you, your dad, your mom, and me. But there are infinite resources. There are some amazing. Louise Hay wrote a book about every organ having, like your kidneys, you're holding on to fears. So everything has an energetic value.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you learn about energy, healing, chakras, gratitude, and meditation, self-healing, self-love. That's how you evolve.
One favorite way to recharge your energy.
Um, you can even listen to music and dance.
Yes. Personally, for me, that's a really good therapy. It's a life changing therapy. Yes. One word that describes your journey.
Infinite light.
Yes, that's perfect.
Oh,
And
love.
last, and
Yes.
last, your go-to mantra or affirmation.
Thanking whatever you believe, thanking the infinite. It's having that intention, filling yourself with light, and allowing yourself to release whatever's not right, whatever's not feeling good. And as you release, you don't just throw it out there, you envision it being transformed. So energy, you got to respect it, where you are and what it is. So it's funny. It's like when you do healing work, you send in love, but you don't get caught up in the gook of somebody else's stuff. You can pull it out, but you don't pull it in. You pull it out, and you give it, thank you, God, for transforming it. You're always, you don't want to put negativity into the universe, ever, 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 ever. Whether it's your thoughts, whether you're pulling it out with healing, energy is powerful.
And one last question. How
Yeah.
would you define success in one sentence?
Happiness.
Wow. Yes. Yes, that's perfect.
It's funny. It's like when you, each lifetime, and what you were supposed to find. And what you're supposed to find is happiness within yourself. Money doesn't matter. Money doesn't bring happiness. But the only thing that can is you. And so when you learn self-love, the world is infinite.
Yeah. That leaves us with the wrap up part. I really don't want to let you go right now, but we have to because it's there's a time shortage for this. But this podcast was a really productive one, really, really, reflective. And I feel like I felt myself when I'm around you, and I talked a lot about how what I feel too, and that's surprising for me. Thank you so much for being here today. But before I let you go, there's another couple of questions. That's such like a wrap up question.
Okay.
Um, if you would if you could leave our listeners with one message to help their souls shine and shine bright, what would that be?
Don't take in any negativity. Don't take anything personal from somebody else. You know, there's this old saying, take it where it comes from. So if somebody says something that's not loving, then maybe they're not in a loving place. So only take in what feels good, because you deserve to feel good and you're in control of how you feel. So may every day be a blessing, and know that you're a blessing. Infinite love always. And that's why I go by Priestess L. And
Yeah.
that's L of the age of new beginnings. And
Wow,
that's
wonderful, wonderful.
mwah. I think that you feel comfortable with me because I honor you where you are, and I appreciate your magnificence. I understand it, and I got chills as I say it, because you're a magnificent light, baby doll. You are just,
Thank
and for
you.
you at your age to be so worldly and aware and conscious is so rare. It is that small percentage. And may you and your energy radiate out into the universe, that you touch more young minds, that they don't have to struggle through life, that they learn young on how to have a wonderful life, because they deserve it. So thank you for
Wow.
everything you
Thank you
are.
so much. Thank you
Mwah.
so much.
Thank you.
Last but not the least, I'd like to just ask you one last question.
Sure.
Because we're talking about this podcast and we have been discussing a whole different journey of yours, a unique journey of yours. How do you think this podcast journey and this episode and the knowledge that we provide in this episode, how is this helpful for people in their lives to become successful in life?
I think that if they heard this podcast, that they might, understanding awakening is hearing something that rings true. And I think that as they listen to this podcast, especially coming from somebody of your age, and I'm bringing that up because your age, it's never, whether you're young or you're old, it's never too soon or too late to evolve. And you deserve it. And when you hear this podcast, I believe that from their essence of their soul, that it will resonate and it will vibrate out, and that maybe they might find something that's going to make their life more of a blessing. So I thank you for creating this moment in time. And I can't wait to put it out in the universe, because I think that the way you project love is beautiful.
Thank you so much. Because I always think that every being is deserving of love,
Yes.
and they not only me, but they themselves should love themselves too. And to
Yes.
do so, they first need to be the evolved selves of themselves and be the best version of themselves, which I help them attain through spreading the knowledge. And thank you so much. You just brought up a really great topic. Thank you so much for being here today.
Now, if I could say one more thing, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Now, a lot of people will say, if you love yourself, you're a narcissist, or it's a bad thing to focus on giving love to yourself. But it's not. It's the highest of high vibrations. As long as you're not being selfish and
Well,
hurting
that's it.
somebody. Yeah. In other words, if you're taking something from somebody, now that's not a good thing. Or if you're trying to outdo somebody, It's a beautiful place to come from, a place of love of yourself, and love and respect for the people around you. And that's a synergy, an energy that creates beautiful relationships and a quality of life.
Thank you so much. I feel like the aura, again, I say this every episode, but today I really mean it when I say that the atmosphere that has been created by you and me in this podcast is really such a divine experience that if
Yes.
people watch this, this is actually going to be life changing. And so, with this, I want to conclude this podcast. Thank you so much, Elle, for sharing your
Oh, my
incredible
goodness.
journey, your wisdom, and insights with us today. And from your Hollywood beginnings to your work as a quantum healer, a spiritual guide, a psychic medium, and whatnot. Your message reminds us that healing, growth, manifestation, all of this are possible for every single person. And to our listeners who are listening to us, who are looking at us, take a moment to reflect on the practices and the advices that me and Elle has provided to you. And you have the power to nurture your soul, to connect with the universal energy, and to let your inner light shine. So,
Yes.
if you have the remote control in your own hands, don't forget to press the button and watch and experience the divine experience of your life. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you so
you,
much for
baby
being here
doll.
today.
Much love, and so it is.
Love you.
Love you.